Man, I really am knocking some videos down today. This is great. This video is how you handle experience points, and this has kind of been something that I've seen people talk about, and I've seen people handle it differently. I play in a group right now that handles experience as the whole group is the same level, and you get the same, when he feels like it, the same amount of experience. Most of the time, he doesn't even tell you what your experience is. He just, you play, and then the next session you play, and then eventually he's like, okay, yeah, let's level everyone up. So, so I've been in that kind of group. I've been in a group that does it individually, the very first gaming group I've ever played in. I like doing it individually when I GM. I explained in my Epic Hollywood Moments video briefly that I do not really keep track of how many bad guys you killed, or you did this many skill rolls and that that gives you this. Mine is more of reflecting on the session after we play. I usually try to take into account how everyone role played, how much they contributed, if they overshadowed anyone, and then I just pull a number out and I say, you know what, you got this much experience, you got this much, you got this much. That's usually how I do it. Sometimes I'll go to the book. If I didn't tell my players at the end of a session, I might go to the book and look up the more specific things and just do it based on memory. But yeah, I handle it individually. Part of handling experience points is you need to figure out how you are going to handle absent players and their experience points. Now, if you do group experience points, and everyone's same level, whatever, sounds like a pretty simple solution to that issue. They're absent, doesn't matter, they still get, your experience points you gave the whole group. If you're doing it individually, you can decide to give them experience points or not, I guess. I mean, I wouldn't. If somebody's not there, say you have a group of 6 people, one person's not there, that puts it puts more on the players at the table and the GM. The GM could have planned the adventure around those 6 players, and now you only have 5. So now the GM has to make a decision. Is he going to play this player as an NPC? Or is he going to come up with an excuse for the player not to be there, the character not to be there? Or is he going to hand the reins over to a player at his table? Or, there's a lot of different ways you can handle it. Personally, I like to handle it as, the character decided to stay back and watch something and protect everyone's gear. Or the character decided to stay back or decided to go do something else, to go see his family or whatever. Usually I try to come up with a reason that the character is not with the party. It's one less thing to worry about. You don't upset them if you kill the character off. They can't be mad that they don't get any of the loot, that they don't get any of the experience points. That's how I handle it. If you're not there, you should not get any sort of reward for not being there. Now, I don't want to punish them, though, for not being there. One of the things that I've heard other people mention in their videos that I've never done, but I would like to do, is maybe, for instance, if the player lets me know they're not going to be there ahead of time, maybe we can figure out before the game session what their character is going to be doing. So now at the beginning of the session I can say, oh, their character decided to do X. Well, I would have worked it out with that player outside of the game before, and if he says he has time to do a solo game, maybe X is going to a city to retrieve an item, and now we have a different adventure that he and I can play out, or she and I can play out by ourselves, so that they still do get experience and loot from their own thing that doesn't affect the group, but when they come back together, they have a story they can contribute, and they're not so far behind now in the experience points, and that's how I want to handle it. I just haven't had the opportunity yet. But that is how I think I'm going to handle it in the future. Another thing to think about is you have a new player. So how do you handle the experience? The new player to the group, you might have all your players at 4th level. I, as an individual game, or individual people, I don't want to give them. I think most of my games start at level 1, 0 experience points. I've never started above that. I can't say I never will, because I think I would if I want to run a certain game, like a certain level game. But I think if I started everyone else at level 1, I should start off all new people at level 1. Now, as if they've never played before ever, I might, as they start getting better and learning stuff, I might give them extra experience points. I mean, they're already down by 4 or 5 levels anyway, but I see a drastic improvement in their game, so I might reward them a little more. Another thing I could always do is give them a magic item with a limit. For instance, in Skyrim, some of your weapons, they have so much magic points and they wear out. So if you use it enough, eventually you don't have any magic in your weapon. So maybe I'll do something like that so that by the time they reach the same level, their magic points are ran out, and that's that, and then they're on an equal playing field as those players up there. And then that way, when they're still level 1 and those people are level 4, they're not so weak they can't contribute. I don't know. I haven't really had that situation yet, but it's something that I would discuss with my players and see what they think, and then just go with it. So, yeah, how do you handle experience points? If you haven't done a video on it, make it a video response to this or whatever, and just let me know. I'm very curious. I think this is a good topic. I think it comes up a lot, and I know everybody seems to handle it completely different. So, yeah, let me know. Thanks. Bye.